What is going on YouTube? Zero Lead here, back again with a new video, episode 29 of the Disco Era U.S.S. Enterprise tutorial. Just want to thank you very much for tuning into today's video. If you haven't, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and helping me in supporting the channel. I really appreciate that. All the comments, all the new subscribers I get. I can't tell you how much I thank you for helping me in supporting the channel. And today we got a couple of things to work on. We're going to be focusing on our detailing of our saucer hull. Now I did do one tiny thing off camera. You can see on the upper hull of our saucer, I've gone ahead and filled in the hull. I've just done that level with the dark gray line along with the curve here. So pretty easy to do. Just fill that in, going all the way up to the white lines here. You can see I left that open because we're going to be making a line. We're going to be, excuse me, I should be say we're eventually going to extend this line to come up here to our bridge to make that flush, and we'll be adding in some panels here as well. But today we're going to be focusing on, like I said, our saucer hull details. And basically what I'm going to show you is how you can use half slabs to make your hull, or to make your roof essentially look a little bit more 3D. Not hard to do, actually pretty easy. And what we're going to be doing is our cuts that we have here. We're going to be replacing those with the half slabs. Now you can see I'm just adding that line that I was telling you about on each side. I want that to be flush. Eventually we'll go in and we'll make panels to run along from the back of the bridge going all the way down to the edge of the saucer. And that gray line is just a temporary guideline, just so I know where it's at, so I can visualize it. And I think right now we're just going to switch that to white quartz, even though eventually this will get covered up. But that's okay. Go ahead and bang that out on both sides. And not a super long video today, only about 38 minutes or so, but definitely got some things to do. We're definitely making a lot of progress on our starship. You can see that the majority of the construction of the ship on the outside has been completed, but there's still so many things to do. The detailing. One thing that you guys can do, you can see that I had those half slabs here going along the lip of the saucer. You can take those off. We're going to be replacing those. So really just go to every single gray hull line that you have. You're going to start with the straightaway ones, and you're going to delete those and replace them with the half slabs, or you can just go in order like I am. Now this isn't going to be all that we're going to be doing. We're also going to be adding in some, essentially going to be removing this gray line and replacing it with the half slabs, but then on each side of it we're going to be adding gray lines. It'll look really good when it's done. And there's going to be a little effect to give your ship a little bit of texturing to make that upper hull really look like hull paneling. Because, I mean, technically you could just call it a day at the lines that we had there before and it wouldn't look too bad. This is going to be one of those small details that you can add in that's going to help bring your ship to life a little bit more. Alright, so we're going to bang out the rest of this. It's a little bit tricky sometimes to get those half slabs in from the right angle, make them go down the bottom side. Alright. We're going to move on to the next one. Perfect. And we got one more on this side. Well, looks like I deleted too much. Let's fix that and move on. I've definitely been having people ask me if I'm going to continue doing this tutorial series, and I can tell you that I definitely am. There's a ton of there's a ton of content still left to cover on the Discovery Enterprise that I have yet to show in the videos. I've already pre-recorded considerable amount of work that's been done on the ship. The outside is almost completely finished. A lot of the inside is done. There's still some things I have to do, but I'm well over 100 recordings into this, but I don't know that this tutorial series will go out that far because, like I've been saying in some of my previous videos, that some of those recording sessions can vary anywhere between 5 minutes to 20 minutes to a half hour to an hour. So it just depends on how much I could get done in that particular recording and what, if I was feeling it. Because that's one thing, like if I start building something and it doesn't come out the way I like, or if I can't think of something that I want to do, I'll stop recording at that point and just pick it up again when I have more of a solid idea of what I want to do. This way, just not to waste any time and as far as editing goes. But I've been able to get a lot done. But after the Enterprise is done, I'm going to have another major series that I'll do. And it's going to be either the Enterprise D or Voyager. And I've set on that point either ship. I just haven't decided which one I'm going to do first. So I'm pretty set that I'm going to do both of them. So I think both ships would be a lot of fun to do. Um, Voyager is really different from any ship that I've ever done before. And the same thing with Enterprise D, even though it's Enterprise, like the design of it's completely opposite, or not necessarily, well, it is kind of opposite. Like the shape of the saucer, is more of oval as opposed to circular, and like the neck is different. Like it's pretty much a completely different looking ship. So I think it would be a lot of fun to do those. And if there's any other ship builds that you guys want to see me do, make sure to drop a comment below. You never know if I'm feeling the build or if I have enough people asking for it, I might just do it. But I'm definitely going to be doing more tutorials on here. That is going to be definite. You can always check out new videos on my channel Monday through Saturday. The only day I don't have new videos coming out is on Sundays. There are those rare exceptions when either I'm not able to get on, or if something happens to my hardware, like about just less than a week ago, my mic went out and I had to order another one. And I think there were like 3 or 4 days I didn't have a video out, but now I'm back to doing videos regularly. So you can always check back for those, and you never know what I'm going to be doing on the channel. Definitely got a lot of cool stuff planned for you guys, but the only thing that I want to talk about at this point is either the Enterprise or Voyager builds I'm going to be doing in the future, as well as this Enterprise build. But yeah, getting back into what we got going on here, you can see I'm just moving along, replacing our gray cuts in our hull, replacing that with our half slabs, and then we're going to be going back around again, and we're going to be deleting essentially both sides of where these half slabs are, and then we're going to be replacing that with gray lines. Not in this video, but in a later video, in that outer, there's a darker gray line going almost all the way around the saucer. We're going to be replacing that with half slabs as well. But I didn't do it in this video, and I kind of waited a little bit because on the front of the Enterprise, right in front of the registration number, like it has a weird dip for the lights. And I wasn't exactly sure at this point in the tutorial, or the recording, I should say, how exactly I was going to build it. So I was kind of waiting to do that. But, I've since then figured it out, and I think you guys have probably seen it, at least a couple of screenshots from uh, my tutorials. I've used a lot of the finished Enterprise for those, and I also showed that off in my Borg Cube tutorial a little bit. Showed a quick teaser of the finished Enterprise, or close to finished Enterprise. All right, so now we're gonna have, you can see I'm removing the white concrete, and I did that gray line, the dark gray line on both sides, and that's just giving a little bit more texture and detail on your hull plating lines. And what it's also going to do is that it's really going to make this half slab in the middle pop. And that's what you want. Because, I mean, you don't really see it so much on the TOS Enterprise, but I mean, the hull lines are there. They're just very faint. It's a little bit easier to spot on the Disco Enterprise, but they're not necessarily this white that we're using for the half slabs. But again, I'm kind of restricted by that because on the build of Minecraft I'm using on the Xbox, they don't have the colored half slabs like you can get with the mods on PC, so I wasn't able to do that. Hopefully, if Mojang's listening, anybody that works for Mojang, I need colored half slabs in my life on this game. I can't even begin to tell you how many cool things I'd be able to make on here. I need all that in my life, as well as triangle slabs and half slabs, angled slabs, all that stuff. I need all of it. But yeah, I mean, this what I was able to come up with here, this doesn't look too bad. It actually looks pretty good. And once we, add in all of these lines, and we eventually, what we're doing right here with our straightaway lines, once we do that same process essentially to this ring, this gray ring that we just, or dark gray ring that we just passed, it's really going to help the ship have that hull plating look that it should have. Because, when you look at a starship, I mean, it doesn't really matter which era you're in, they all have that kind of Federation hull plating look to it. All right, you can see we're just banging this out on the other sides. Like I said, if we do one thing on one side, of course we got to do it on the other side too, just to keep it consistent and also help you make less mistakes when you're doing your build. And when I didn't actually come up with how I'm doing my hull plating now, when I'm showing you guys, this was something I came up with over a course of time. Um, just over the last couple of years, several years of building ships on here. Um, I just kind of stumbled across this, trying different things, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work. And this process, this uh, pattern that I got going on here, just works out really well. All right, now we're going to get the straightaway, and then we've got two more sides to do, and then we're going to repeat this same process on the lip of our ring, where I showed you guys where you have those half slabs sitting on top of, technically should what be flat, these two rows right here. We're going to be getting rid of those. We're going to be applying the same process along there because it doesn't have it. So like I said, I was trying something new with this Enterprise when I did the lip, but it just didn't come out right, so I just decided to do it the same way I've done all my other ships. Because that really was something I tried to do with this Enterprise. I tried to do as much as I could. I tried to do it a little bit different than the way I've done it before, just to come up with a new way of doing things. And with some things I was successful, and other things not so much. But the majority of what you guys will see with that will be the interior. Um, I was really happy with how my interior came out this time around on the Enterprise. Wasn't bad on the Enterprise A, but what I came up with for the Discovery Enterprise, I just think is far superior. As far as the layout of the whole ship, I think it's a little bit more organized, a little bit better planned out. And when we get a little bit more into that, I'll go over that with you guys. Don't worry. We've already started the process with our saucer, so that's a good thing. We're already ahead of the game on that. But eventually, and I've looked ahead in some of my recordings. We're going to be focusing in the next 3 or 4 videos, give or take, on our saucer detailing, and then we've got a couple more things to do on the engines, and we're going to work on our shuttle bay a little bit more, and then we're going to focus on the interior for a while, and then we'll hop back outside and we'll finish off our shuttle bay and get a little bit more detailing in, and we'll kind of go back and forth a little bit like that between going inside the ship and outside the ship, because I try to do that a little bit. um, I haven't gotten any bad feedback from it yet, so I'm thinking that that's working, because that's honestly how I do these builds, is that I don't focus on one thing for too long just to keep it fresh for me. So I'm kind of thinking that that's maybe how you guys are building too. So I kind of want to keep with that, and how I build on here, because it works. And just because I stop working on something, where I'm currently at in the progress on the ship, doesn't mean I'm not going to come back to it, and I definitely will. But it's just kind of how I build. Sometimes I work on something for so long and I just get tired of it, or I'm bored and I just need to switch it up and work on something else. Because especially like with the hull plating that we're doing right now, this is a pretty repetitive process. Pretty simple, not hard to do at all, and it can get a little boring after a while. But it's definitely worth it. These things are overall, I think, very enjoyable. I do really enjoy building on Minecraft in general, and it's a great hobby to have, especially right now with all the craziness going on in the world. I think that having a hobby, something to take your mind off everything, is great. And this is a great outlet just to help you to focus on something else other than everything else that's going on. All right, we're looking really good here. We got all our straight lines done, and the curve and the ones going at an angle. We're going to do the outer lip, I think, next. We're going to have to get rid of these half slabs all on the top lip. Kind of zoom around looking at it, and I've almost made up my mind at this point that I don't like it, and I'm going to get rid of it. And you're going to do that to both sides, both this inner ring and the outer ring. So go ahead and delete both sides, both rows, I should say, of the half slabs. And if you want to fast forward a little bit to when I'm done, see just how I'm going to repeat the same method to making our straightaway hull lines looking 3D to our ring going along our saucer edge of it. Yeah, we got to delete a little bit here, but that's okay. Sometimes you just got to throw it down and see what it's going to look like. You never. I'm usually a pretty visual person. A lot of times I can picture things in my head, but it really helps me to just visualize it a little bit more when I either throw something down on a sheet of paper, or in this case, just build it out really quick in Minecraft. Because either it's going to work or it's not going to work, or maybe it'll help you come up with a better method of doing it, you know? Got a hole there. I wanted to fix it, and you can see that there's holes on this outer row that I'm deleting too, but don't worry about that. Really, the main thing that you want to keep intact is this dark gray line that's right in between these two rows. You want to make sure that that stays intact because we're going to replace that with half slabs. I think it's either that row or the one in front of it, but we'll get to that in just a minute. Almost there. A little bit more, a quarter of a way to go. Gotta fix that. All right, let's move on, bang out the rest of this, get rid of these half slabs. We're making progress. We still got about just less than 20 minutes left in this video. I'm gonna try to bang out as much as we can. All right, we got a quarter of a way to go. And then we can work on making this lip of our ring or saucer a little bit more 3D. I'm looking, bringing out the detailing in our hull. Because we're almost there, but we're not quite there yet. I'm sure as you can see from, if you're stuck with me this far in the tutorial, you know, I literally just break it down and do it one thing at a time. And with this saucer, you know, this is just the best way to do it, is just break it down piece by piece by piece. It was like I used to watch on Discovery a lot of Bear Grylls back in the day, and I'll never forget. This was before he had like celebrities on there, and he was climbing down this huge mountain, and he looked at the camera and he said, you know, for any regular person, this would be a daunting task, but I just want you to stop and think that if you're in a similar situation like this, just stop and break it down and do it piece by piece. Just worry about getting 10 feet down, and then after that worry about the next 10 feet, and so on and so forth. And that's literally how we're doing this ship, essentially, is that, you know, we started from the beginning of this whole tutorial on just doing the outer ring of the saucer. And then from there we started working on a little bit of our wireframing, you know, planning things out for the future, literally what we're doing right now. And it's kind of crazy, you know, how it's all wrapping together now. But you know, when you take the time to plan out your ship, those little things will help you, not only saving you time, but in just getting it to come out a heck of a lot better, because you know you sat down, you thought out how you're going to do it, as opposed to just jumping off the side of the mountain, and hoping that it's going to end up, you know, really good. Because I've done that before, and matter of and I've done it in the past. What I'm trying to say is that where I started, you know, almost 10 years ago building starships, is not even close to where I've ended up now. You know, I've had people say on, you know, some of my builds, you know, that it looks great, but I can never do this. And I'm telling you, you can. I mean, I definitely consider myself an artist, but I don't know if that necessarily just translated to Minecraft. Because when I first started building on Minecraft, or playing Minecraft 10 years ago, I could not build stuff like this. It took time to develop the skill to do something like this. Between watching what other people have done on YouTube, meeting people in the community that play Minecraft also was a huge help to me. If it wasn't for meeting other people on here, I never would have come up with automatic doors on my starship. So I mean, I was thankful for that, and that is a really the driving force on why I'm doing this tutorial series and why I'm going to be doing all these tutorial series, because I wish that I had this access at my fingertips when I was starting this, because I can't tell you how many times I rebuilt the 2009 Enterprise just to get to what it was in the video that has like 26,000 views on my channel now. I probably built that ship alone like 4 times. And then I've rebuilt it again in, well, I didn't rebuild, well, not about 90% rebuilt it to convert it into the Enterprise A. But it was the same ship that I converted. I didn't start from scratch. This Enterprise has started from scratch, but this is really, 10 years worth of building on Minecraft, using what I've learned on here, pretty much. So I want to jump back in here on what we got going on here. You can see I removed all my half slabs, and I'm going to be replacing, or I should say deleting, this dark gray line going all the way around. Now this is important. You want to make sure that you're not deleting anything past that. You want to keep this line or this ring intact as much as possible. So if you delete any white concrete behind this gray line, fix it immediately, because what's going to happen is it's going to mess up your circle. See, I deleted that. I had to fix that just to make sure that it was correct. Probably need to delete that straggler back there, but we'll come back for that when we come back around with the half slabs. Right now I'm just worrying about this row. We're getting there. We just got a little bit over a quarter way to go. Alright, now we're down to the last two parts, and then we're going to work on our half slabs. You can see I'm not doing the road directly behind the bridge. Reason for that is because that's going to be covered up, and there's not really a point in doing that. Anything within that exposed line on the saucer that I had opened that I didn't fill in and I showed you guys in the beginning of the video, anything in between that line, there's no point in doing that hull detailing, like I said, because once the next couple of videos, we'll get into that. When we build what's going to go above that, you won't be able to see those hull lines. All right, and we're done with that. So now, just off of this side alone, we're going to do our half slabs. So literally the row that we deleted, we're going to replace. And if you're in a similar situation that your half slabs in the row in front, where you can see like these white concrete blocks, or the white quartz, I mean, In the front, if you have some sections where they're filled in like this and some sections where there's nothing there, just on that row, don't worry about it because we're going to be doing another pass along in the front. Now, I want you to see what I did there. I'm at one of the angles here that it cuts. This is literally just a box that I made. And I did it this way on purpose because eventually, once we finish going all the way around where they're half slabs, we're going to come back again with our darker gray concrete, and then we're going to do a line on this side. And what's going to happen is that it's going to give the impression of a line here, and it's going to start to make this look more like hull plating. Doesn't fully look like it now, but I'm telling you, follow this process. By the time it's done, it's going to look freaking fantastic. Sure, somebody's going to make fun of me because I don't like to curse. That's cool, but it will. It will look absolutely awesome. All right, now we're just going to bang this out. We're just going to do the half slabs going all the way around. We're going to get a little bit of detailing in. We're definitely rocking and rolling here. Getting this work done. We got about 9 minutes left in this episode, but we still got a couple of things to do. Really excited I'm able to show you guys this stuff because this is something that I really haven't seen anybody else really doing all that much of. And I don't understand why, because when you look at, like I said, when you look at Federation ships, every single one of them almost has hull plating lines, you know? So this method definitely helps to bring that out on our ship. Because, you already spent this much time working on it, you might as well go all out. You can see I'm just going up in the air there just to verify my pattern. So I'm just sticking to the cut in front of me, not worrying about any of the gap that's on the other side. We'll come back around and fix that. I'm making sure to stop with the cut. So if we do this correct on the rows where you don't have anything directly in front of these half slabs, you should just have one row of empty concrete blocks. Well, I shouldn't even say concrete blocks, but just one row of empty. We're going to get rid of that full concrete block and replace that also with a half one. And let's move right on and get the other side of our saucer done. All right, we're at another junction where we can put a square. Literally, that's only going to be at your angles where the lines at. I gotta get rid of that one on top and put on the below. There we go. Let's move right along. And we're looking pretty good. So now on the side closest to the inner hull, now we're just going to add a line of the darker gray right behind our half slabs going all the way around. It's going to be one of the things just to help bring out these half slabs just a little bit more. I got to go back and finish that part that I missed. Right there. Perfect. And you can see how, with that line here, how it cuts this way. Now it looks a little bit more like a hull. Definitely helps to bring it out. All right, we're rocking here. Trying to get this all done before before this particular video ends. About 3 minutes left. I don't think we're gonna have enough time to get on the other side of the ring. We're gonna have to do that in episode 30, I think. So I just went ahead a little there, deleted some. And you could either go either way about this. You can just go all the way around and delete a row and then come back with a gray or the darker gray, or you can do it how I'm doing it and delete and replace immediately while you're over here. Just like to switch it up sometimes. All right. I think we're getting there in the last quarter of the way to go. Spread it out a little bit more on the left, so let's do it on the right too. Just want it to match up on both sides. Don't have to worry about doing it in the very middle here because, like I say, you won't see that. It's going to be covered. We're looking really good. Looking really good. We're just going to have to go in on the next video and then do ring and do that outer ring that we're missing right in front of our half slabs. But other than that, I mean, it's starting to definitely take decent shape up here. We got to go back on this ring right here. Do the same process to bring out our hull detailing. And then also, we're going to have to add another layer a little bit closer in. We'll add another ring going around, and that'll be for our the dip where the lights will go in to light up the actual registration number. But we're making progress here. I definitely like where the Enterprise is going, but I do think that's going to wrap up episode 29. Just want to thank you again for tuning into today's video. I really hope that you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed doing this tutorial series for you guys. And if you did enjoy today's video, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and helping me in supporting the channel. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. And if you have any questions regarding this episode, if I didn't get specific enough, please drop a question below. I'm usually very responsive. If I don't get to your question in the comment section, I'm probably answer it in the video. If I don't, chances are I've already answered that exact question in another video series or in a previous video. And be sure to check out episode 30 tomorrow. And you guys can always check out new episodes Monday through Saturday. The only days I do not have new episodes is on Sundays. So anyway, that's going to wrap it up for me. And I hope everybody has a great day. And I'll catch you on the next episode.